how does that legally work though? Because like I would assume if you have someone else buying with you, it'll be under multiple names. Really?
Yeah. And that's because the truth is I paid zero. I paid not a single cent.
Okay, so today I am here with Mark.
Hey, hi.
I first saw Mark TikTok like literally last week.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how you have 9 properties and you were a teacher once upon a time.
That's right, with MOE.
How did you get there from being a teacher to having 9 properties?
Wow, this can be a long story. Of course, I was quite frustrated with teaching. I was looking for more growth, more opportunities, right? I thought that I was contributing a lot in my school, in my capacity. But then, somehow the growth and the promotion, I would say, didn't happen. So because of that, I started to look beyond and I started to look at ways I can make money. Because I wanted to quickly, if frankly put, if salary is not increasing, then what's the way to increase your income? You have to look for passive income, right? So that's when I thought properties might be one way. Of course, I've dabbled into crypto, stocks and everything. Just that properties came to my mind as well.
Interesting. Interesting.
Correct.
So like, if you don't mind sharing, how much were you earning as a teacher back in the days?
Around 5K. Okay. My last drum pay was really 5K when I left MOE.
Okay, and you were in MOE as a teacher for about 5 years, I assume?
Around there, 4 years. Yeah. So I was on a MOE scholarship, so I had to finish the bond.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. It's almost like signing on in the army or whatever, and then you have to finish up a certain contract. Interesting. Then how did you get from being a teacher? Because I assume everybody that's a teacher, they have a certain way of thinking and doing. I'm assuming they want to get married to someone, get a BTO, etc. But how did you go to property? What brought you there?
You're right, they are teachers. So I went for courses, right? One of the courses that I attended was iQuadrant. And why I even embarked on the course, right, was because me and my wife, we were trying to get a BTO. Okay. We really wanted to get a BTO.
Okay.
And I thought that was like a be all and all move, like all the youngsters are making.
That's the Singaporean dream, right?
Exactly. Right. But we faced so much hurdles and frustration where we couldn't get the unit. We applied for 4 or 5 times. We couldn't get it. And that made us lose about 2 years of our time. Right. Because we are very picky also. Not every exercise we went for it. So there was a lot of this frustration in my life. Career-wise, I felt very stuck. Property-wise, I also felt very stuck. I couldn't get what I wanted, right, in either way. So then there must be a better way, all right. Then happened to come across the ads and everything. I came across iQuadrant ads. I came across like Marco and Friends, their ads as well. Then I went to learn. I also went to learn how to invest in stock investing with Dr. Wealth, 8i also, right. Okay. All those popular companies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, interesting. And which one did you choose in the end to follow all the way?
I of course chose iQuadrant. All right. And then from there on at the time, right, they were very big on buying industrial properties. They were like, hey, this is the market opportunity, go get it. But I knew nothing about industrial. All right. We all thinking of VTO, right?
Right.
So I knew nothing about it. But then I think by stroke of luck and everything, right, we just decided, okay, just go and buy, just go and try. After all, you spend all that money for your course, right? There are really people who spend money and don't do anything, right? They go for knowledge, right? They spend like few thousands for the course and they found it very skeptical. They found it can't be done for all sorts of reasons. They just chose not to take action. Sure, you can collect knowledge and choose not to take action. I chose to apply what they have taught and see whether it works. So from 1 unit became 2, 2 became 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is because I'm quite young, I'm 27. I would think that property is not accessible to me because of the cash flow required, That's the first thing people are skeptical of.
Correct.
How did you get over that?
Yeah, so there is no 2 way around it. You really need a down payment.
Okay.
You really need a down payment. But, okay, so for my property number 4, if you watch my video, property number 4 was my condo. So eventually we gave up the idea of BTO. We decided to buy a condo each. Okay. But for the condo, really, I put in 200K of down payment.
Of your own money?
It's a combination of CPF and cash. And some money that I borrowed from my mama. Okay. So there are ways. Okay. That's for residential. But my first 3 properties are industrial. And the first 3 properties industrial, right? That is when, the down payment, right? I can get investors to pay for it.
Why is that so?
So I don't have to use my own cash.
Right.
Or I use very little of my own cash.
And the investors were from the network in iQuadrant?
Some of them are from the network, the community. Some of them are my own friends who are outside the community.
Okay.
Right. So when you put money together, right, one thing you realize is that it's not it's not about how much resources you have, right? Because you feel that you are trapped by the lack of cash. It's actually how resourceful you are.
True. That's true.
Right. So if you're able to pull 10K from this person, 10K from the other person, I was also very blessed to meet a community member who gave me 50K. So for a 100K down payment required, I already half the battle is won with 50K.
Right. How does that legally work though? Because like I would assume if you have someone else buying with you, it'll be under multiple names.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So there's an element of trust, and that's where people start to get skeptical, right? So the properties are under my company's name. All right. So the legality, to keep it simple, it's under my company's name. Okay, I'm the sole owner. All right. But we have investment agreement legally signed. Okay, with, for example, you are one of my investors, you put in 10K, how much returns are you going to get? How many percent, and what is our strategy moving forward? When do we sell? And once we sell, how much profit split goes to you? It's all in the agreement.
Okay.
And that's legally binding.
Okay, interesting. And is this something you can only do in Singapore or can you do overseas as well?
I guess wherever the law of, what we call the rule of law, as long as it's strong and it protects you, this piece of document, yeah, why not?
Right. Wow, interesting. Then could you have done that at the start as well with your first property? Get investors for your first ones instead of putting your own money. Could you have done that as well?
Yeah. So the first 3 were done this way.
Okay.
The first 3 were done this way.
Because you mentioned you put your own money, what?
That's for the number 4. That's for residential.
Okay.
So residential, you can do the same also.
Okay.
But residential in Singapore is more close to heart. It's your own house. You get what I mean?
Right.
Your own house. So do you think someone would want to invest with you in your own property for your own stay? I think quite hard. Not impossible, but quite hard.
Unless you're paying your rent.
Yeah, correct.
Which kind of doesn't make sense because then you're giving half to yourself, right? Or whatever amount you...
Correct. I mean, I think no right or wrong.
Okay.
Right? Because if you have the ability, if you have the cash, you get 100% control of whatever you buy. Correct? So for residential, when you talk about your home, your HDB, your EC, whatever, yeah, people like to have 100% say of this home, right? Where you build a family and everything. But for investment properties, where we are not so emotionally attached, and sharing is simple just share.
Right.
It's just about profit splitting.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this is very troublesome because like I would imagine the legalities and the paper would take quite a lot of time to set up. And then like what's the cycle like usually?
We are very lucky. People trust us. And the template, the
people trust us, meaning your investors trust you.
Yeah, correct. I also have another investor friend called Sean. He and I we always partner together to find units.
Okay.
So I tend to use the word us. But yeah, they trust. And that template for writing, like
Right.
We have that template, so it was just very easy.
Interesting. How did you feel when you bought your first property? Did you feel like, shit, I put so much money away, I'm investing in random people?
Yeah.
Walk me through your emotions.
Freaking scary. Freaking scary because see, back then the HDB is only, if you buy BTO, right, probably a 400-500K. Right. You already know that once you do this, you'll be burdened with the loan. Suddenly you buy an industrial property, not for your own use, and it's like 800K. It's like you're totally in a different realm, and this is a realm that a lot of people are not familiar with. Right. So again, I think maybe for your audience, industrial property refers to like your factories, right? I think a lot of people go to, just for example, like Trade Hub 21, Midview City, Woodlands 11. Yeah, these are places where you find warehouses. So yeah, it's like very weird. It's like damn scary. And you have no idea whether this will work out. But we trusted the numbers. So we did our analysis. We realized that, the rental we're going to collect, the principal we're going to get over 3-year period, 4-year period. It's going to make sense. It's going to make sense.
Okay. And your wife was on board with it?
Not entirely. Not entirely. She did attend the course, right? She did attend. And I would say it's gradually, it's a gradual shift. When we first felt that, I started venturing first. And she wasn't my wife yet, she was a girlfriend, right? So I guess the good thing is that she didn't have much control.
Right.
All right, didn't have much say over my money. All right, but slowly started to share with her.
Okay.
And that's how we deviated from our BTO aspiration.
Right. So you mean slowly you started sharing with her? What do you mean when you say that? Like you already put your money away, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean slowly?
So slowly means like I started to share investment concepts.
Okay.
What is rental? What's rental yield? How do you see whether it's a good property or not? All these kind of things.
And how about your parents, your friends?
Oh, okay. I was quite low key. I don't share so much with friends. Yeah. I think without TikTok, nobody knows I actually own line properties.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, correct. I just low key do it for myself. For my parents, cannot tell one. Cannot tell one. The moment you tell them, I tell they'll flip. They'll flip. Yeah, they'll flip.
Because they grow up quite traditional, right? I mean, they are just like any Singaporeans. They want the best for you, but they don't understand all of these mediums.
Exactly. Correct. Wow, you got what? 500k loan on you? That kind of thing.
Sounds scary, man.
Yeah, they're scary, right? Then, but over the years, okay, they can see that I'm still doing fine, doing well, right? Then that's when I slowly put in the news. I have property in UK. So I don't flinch. I have a few in UK, that kind of thing. Then they will still nag. They will still say, hey, you share your loan, the burden, that kind of stuff. But they start to get at ease.
Right. I guess at the end of the day, you have to take risks. Calculated risks.
For sure. Calculated for sure. And I think for me, my personal take is you don't need to go and show off. All right. Your success leaves clues, right? So your success and when you reach a certain stage where you are, you look okay, you look fine, right? People will definitely come to you and ask you, hey, how have you done it? What have you done? Right? And yeah, they will be more at ease also.
That makes sense, yeah. Let your success do the talking, basically. Right. Although the success is quite risky when you first describe it to your parents, the amount of money that you put away.
Scary,
right?
Yeah, scary.
Are there any horror stories though with property?
Well, we are quite lucky. So for these investment properties, the first three industrial, for example, primarily it's meant for rental, right? How we make money is from rental, is from capital gains, the principal. So one key factor was the tenant needs to stay there, right? If it doesn't stay there, then we are bleeding money. All three units, right, had to endure COVID pandemic. All had to endure, right?
Right.
So all of them came with...
Walk me through the years you bought the first one. This was pre-pandemic.
All pre-pandemic. All bought in 2019.
Right. And then the rent went down, right, when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Okay, walk me through that.
So the rents I speak in general first. Most of the time, the tenant actually went bust. Okay? So only out of the three industrial properties, only property number 2, the tenant stayed throughout. Okay, the tenant stayed throughout. But the other 2 properties, basically tenant was coming in and out. Yeah, so they couldn't sustain the rent, they left, and then we also had to give a rental waiver. So there was one part where there was this time where government told us to give a rental waiver.
Remember that?
Government also had to support us, but not much. The support was not much. And then we had to discuss with the tenants what kind of rental waiver we are giving. It went as much as, for example, I give you 50% off. Okay, then the 50% that you owe me, we spread it across the next 1 year to slowly recoup back. This whole journey of tenant in and out, we are very lucky in the fact that, especially for property number 1, basically we changed tenant 4 times over the whole course of the pandemic.
Where did you find these tenants?
So property guru,
just standard channels.
Advertisement, yeah. We got agents to help us as well.
Okay.
So thankfully, all right, the rents kept quite steady. Okay, the horror is the part that the tenants kept leaving, but the rent itself was quite steady. And
they have to sign a lease anyways, right?
They had to sign a lease,
it's
but
binding, but they can sort of not pay.
Yeah lah, because
if you don't have money, you don't have.
Yeah, you have no money, it means you have no money.
Right.
Yeah, so we have to let them go lah. I mean, if they have no money, we really have to let them go. There's no way you're gonna sue them over hey, unpaid rent, that kind of thing. Right. So luckily, right, when the tenants flip, when they keep moving out, we are very lucky to find new tenants coming in. So once the new tenants come in, maybe 1 month later or maximum 2 months later.
Maximum 2 months.
Yeah,
okay, that's really good.
Yeah, correct. So I must say that it's really the property that we bought. It's because we followed certain criteria that we bought such properties that are very popular with tenants. So as tenant A went, B will come very quickly. Then that's not an issue.
Okay. You follow the fundamentals of good property, and then you designed it, refurbished it, etc. All of those stuff.
We didn't have to refurbish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So for industrial, today we are in this very nice place, right?
Yeah.
We let the tenants renovate to their own liking.
And they pay for the renovation as well,
they
right?
have to pay for the renovation.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, unbeknownst to other people, they thought we had to go and renovate
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's a misconception.
Yeah, because very simple. When XYZ Private Limited comes in, they probably want a meeting room, they want a pantry. Let them be lah. Let them be design whatever they want.
They just gotta pay for it.
They pay for whatever they design.
Wow.
I just have to collect rent.
So it's like almost like you just buy your land and they build a house for you.
In a way,
If you simplify it.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Correct.
What other misconceptions are there about property?
I think
that broke for you when you first started.
I think the biggest ABSD. Right?
ABSD.
Yeah, the biggest ABSD. So you can see a lot of my comments right now. Like, ask IRAS to check on Mark, right? Or how much ABSD do you pay? Right? There are so many people asking about ABSD. So for those who don't know, ABSD is additional buyer stamp duty. Basically, it's a tax you pay to government. And a lot of people think that the moment you buy more than one, basically 2 or more, you have to pay ABSD. The truth is, I paid 0. I paid not a single cent of ABSD. Okay?
Really?
Yeah. And that's because ABSD, look it up, is only payable on residential properties. A lot of people don't know this. So the first 3 industrial, okay, you can have multiple industrial, you don't need to pay any ABSD. You don't have.
Right. And if you keep upgrading residentials, technically you're only counted as having one, right? So you don't really pay
Yes.
for more than
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
okay.
So my property 4 and 5 are residentials, okay? But 4 is under my name, 5 is under my wife's name. So technically we only have 1 each.
It's not considered under the same marriage, same family, is it?
No, you just make sure that there's only 1 owner.
Okay.
There's only 1 owner.
Wow, interesting. When you decide to buy your next property, like I understand you have 9 right now, right? But let's say you buy the first one, how long does it take for you to decide, okay, now I'm going to buy the second, now I'm going to buy the third? What are the criteria you have?
Good question. I will say up to you. Up to you.
So what's up to you then?
Okay, I bring you to 2022. Okay. Basically last year and 2021. So once I was done with all my property purchase, I was at number 5 already. For the whole of 2021, I felt that there's nothing much I can do. Okay. So I really lay low, didn't do anything much for 2021. In 2022, then that's when I realized, hey, there's a UK opportunity.
How did you realize that?
I was working with iQuadrant.
Okay.
So they were, I've attended their courses already. So they continue to educate people about opportunities. So they have discovered, hey, UK seems like a good opportunity. Okay. And yeah, so I was, in 2022, I was looking at, putting some money into stocks and shares, right? And in 2022, basically, whatever you buy, you sure make. For stocks, right? Everybody's a genius that year. Right, just throw in money anywhere.
Anything, man.
Anything,
Crypto,
S&P 500.
everything, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, crypto also. Sure have money.
Crypto was insane.
So everybody was like a genius. Then I came across, UK also can put in now. So again, I bought some UK because I had some cash on hand from all my work and everything.
How much cash did you have on hand specifically?
I had about 100k. About 100k. So you accumulate accumulate again. There I had 100k to spend. Then again, to reduce my risk, I'm a very conservative person. So that's why you see my industrial.
You still consider yourself a conservative person with 9 properties?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
But because I think the thing is that I don't put all my money into one.
Okay.
Okay. Of course, like I mentioned, if you put all money into one, you get to have full control. But all my properties, usually I share.
Okay.
So this is to reduce my risk. There's another school of thought that you introduce other investors, you actually elevate your risk. Because now you have to account to them, you have to answer to them, you have to manage their expectation.
Okay. Is that a misconception or is that actually real?
I would say it depends on what kind of investors you find. There are some sleeping partners.
Those are the best, right?
Yeah, those are the best. Then there are some very calculative partners. It depends on who you bring in. So my UK properties, a lot of them are also shared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess like my thought process right now is, I guess in Singapore it's pretty straightforward. You're a Singaporean, you can buy Singaporean properties, right?
Yes.
But you're not a UK citizen, right? How can you buy a UK property without all of those restrictions in place?
So UK is very investor friendly. So they are open to anybody buying. They don't have so much restriction. The only thing is that as a Singaporean, when we buy, we pay slightly higher taxes by about 2%. Yeah, that's all.
That's it, just 2%.
Correct.
But you can buy it under your own name, your own passport. You don't need a UK citizen to help you out.
Right.
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 Specifically, which cities are investable?
For me, I feel that London, Manchester, maybe Birmingham. So I bought Birmingham as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you watch football?
Not much. When I was young, I tried to follow lah, but
Right.
no.
I was gonna ask you if you're a fan of Manchester United.
No. I think my wife is lah, but
Your wife is? She's a footballer.
no, she's not.
But she watches.
Yeah, she watches lah. I think she's more a fan of Ronaldo lah. So
Okay.
where Ronaldo goes, I guess so.
Oh, he left already. But anyways, wow, interesting. Okay, so and when you took that leap of faith and you bought a property in the UK, how did you feel? And you were like, now I need to go all in on UK, or you were like, what was your thought process at that point?
My thought process at the time was to try out.
Just to try out.
Just to try out. Yeah, I have this cash here, don't know what to do. Try out, see how it goes. Yeah.
Do you have any contingency plans though, if it goes wrong?
If it goes wrong, I think that first of all, not easy to go wrong.
Okay.
Because I wasn't the first batch of buyers who went into UK. Right. I've seen other people go in. I've seen their success. All right, meaning I've seen their results. I've seen that they can rent it out quite easily. Yeah. So I feel that contingency plans are, let's just say the worst case scenario is I need money. Because I put in money there, I need to liquidate. And that is where I talk about risk just now, right? You have to then convince the other partners to liquidate your portion. So if your partners are okay, maybe they can choose to sell the entire property, then you can liquidate. Or maybe they buy over your share. So some of my, go back to industrial, right? I have investors. Then they say, what happens if I need that 10K that I put in? And I need it urgently.
That's quite little though.
Yeah, quite little. So I just say, two ways. You find another person to replace you. All right, 10K quite easy lah. Find another friend replace you. Or if I have the means, I buy you out.
Is that legally easy to do though? To find someone to replace them? Because you have to...
Yeah, just re-sign the paper.
Okay.
So easy lah. Anyway, it happens in business all the time. Like
Right.
you change shareholder or director A buys over director B, so director B is out of the company. Quite common.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Airbnb, by the way? Because it's kind of banned in Singapore, right?
Yep, it's kind of banned in Singapore lah. What do you mean? Like,
can you use because I have seen people overseas as well use like Airbnb as a course, and you can buy properties and then rent it out on Airbnb. Have you thought about that as well?
Yeah. I thought about it before. I think it could be viable for certain countries lah. And if let's say, I think to me Airbnb will be an option if the normal rental is not good enough. So let's say you rent to one tenant, okay, and you felt that the rent is quite low, then you might want to look at Airbnb lah, where it's like every 3 days, every 4 days, that kind of thing. So when you're doing daily rental, your rents start to increase. Okay, but it also comes with a lot of associated costs. All right, and I think Airbnb has its own way of helping you manage all this kind of thing. So even in terms of advertising, all right, you also pay extra dollar for Airbnb to advertise on the platform, and how much you want to be visible on the platform, right? You actually pay more advertising dollars. So it's all in all, it's a package lah. All in all, it's a package. You have to see whether it still makes sense.
Okay. What would your advice be to people who are like super young? Maybe they are like just like 18 years old, turning adults legally. Would you advise them to start into property?
Yeah, they should. The earlier they start, the better. Yeah, the earlier they start, the better. Really.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How old are you when you bought your first one?
29.
Okay.
29,
I still have 2 more years then.
Okay.
Then I can hit a record and buy it. So you can start at any age, but what's the mindset you need and what is the knowledge?
Okay, the knowledge will be criteria. Okay, buy good properties. Don't just buy for the sake of buying. But I can tell you in Singapore, it's very hard to go wrong. Property is very, very close to everybody's life.
Yeah.
So just take for example. Let's talk about residential first. It's very close to everybody's hearts because normal, average Singaporean, their biggest asset is actually planted in a flat, a HDB flat, most of them.
Yep.
So that flat probably worth like what, 500K to 700K, something like around there. So this is like a retirement nest for a lot of Singaporeans, right? So if one day they want to downgrade to a smaller flat, right, they can always cash out the money, 700K, do something about it, buy a smaller flat, So since everybody has this asset, then property prices affects everybody's livelihoods. And so the government has a very heavy hand, I would say, to always watch the property market.
Mm.
So I don't think they want to see any drastic rises. They also likewise don't want to see any drastic drops, because that means everybody's net worth is wiped out if you do that. So I think it's quite hard to go wrong in Singapore lah.
Right.
Quite hard to go wrong lah.
Where can it go wrong though, outside of Singapore?
Outside of Singapore,
Yeah.
a lot of things you just look at Malaysia, a lot.
Right, right.
A lot of sneaky, a lot of under table deals. You have things like buying a property but cannot sell. You have things like buying a property but cannot rent out. Then you're basically trapped lah. Because you put money into it, you can't get rental, you can't sell, then you're trapped.
What about Bali? Like, I always go to these islands like Bali, Phuket. Would you consider buying property there?
As long as the opportunities are good, yeah, why not?
Okay.
Can take a look. Especially, your Airbnb again, right? You get a villa there. Right? Can take a look.
Yeah.
Can try.
Interesting.
Yeah, anybody have a lobang, let me know.
Yeah. If anybody lives in Bali, please let us know.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Because like I've been to Bali and I always see like the expats that are living there, they're spending quite heavily and some of the prices match like Singapore prices. Yeah, like for gyms, for example, they have like gyms going for 200 USD a month. That's more than Anytime Fitness in Singapore, for example.
Yeah.
And it's like way cheaper to get those land in Bali. So I always thought about all of this stuff. I mean, when you travel, you look at all of these beautiful places where you're like, when can I buy this? It's like a dream.
Yes.
You literally can never imagine doing it. You're just thinking in your dreams. And right now what you're sharing with me is like, it's possible.
It's possible. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So now that you have 9 properties, is there a number of property that you want to hit ideally before you completely stop investing?
Not really. Not really. I accumulated because I just wanted to accumulate, right? But I think the main aim is to continue growing the asset, right? Continue growing asset. So if I were to just put the numbers, right, to see, hey, how much do all these 9 property worth? Okay, that will be my net worth, correct? I want to keep growing my net worth, that's all. So I can grow my net worth with, for example, one very good landed property. For example, one landed property now is about 4-5 million minimum in Singapore.
Right.
So if you can do that, then just one is enough. Right. But as long as that 4-5 million landed can grow to 6, 7, 8 million in future, then you're growing your net worth. Then same concept again. One day I would like to cash out from my landed and maybe let's say stay in a smaller place, right? Assuming I'm old, I don't want to manage a big house, I don't need to go and tend the garden. Okay, sure, cash out. Go and get a small condo if you want to. Then from 8 million, you go and buy another small little condo and maybe 1 million back there, 2 million maybe at that time. You still have 6 million.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, those are pretty simple thought processes to have. Yeah, it's pretty logical. But are you stressed though having 9 properties?
No leh.
No?
I feel very good.
Who's managing these, man?
Okay. They don't really need much management.
Okay.
They don't need much management. Okay, for example, the first 3 industrial. The first 3 industrial is wholly managed by the tenant, right? Because their office is there, right? They have to do their day-to-day operation. So let them manage it. Okay. Property 4 is a new launch, okay? And I recently got the keys to it, but I have not rented it out yet. So there's pretty much nothing to manage.
Okay. So you're losing money on that?
You can say so. You can say so. I'm, as in like month to month, I'm paying but I'm not losing money yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just your mortgage, right?
Right,
anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, which you have to pay regardless.
Correct. Then number 5 is my wife's, still under construction. So under construction, we literally nothing to do. We just let it build. Then the other 6, 7, 8, 9 are UK. They are also under construction. Well, nothing to do.
Okay.
Nothing to do. Nothing I can do.
Right. Interesting. How much cash flow is coming into your life right now, if you don't mind sharing?
Wow. Okay. Cash flow will come from the first 3 industrial. They are rented.
Yep. Because the rest are in construction anyways.
Correct. So I would say combined rental put together should be about close to 12K.
Okay. And what would the number be like estimated once all of the other properties are constructed?
Oh, once they're contracted and all rented.
I'm sure you've done your numbers.
Yes. About 27K.
Oh, wow. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
And this is after cost or is just rental?
This is just a rental itself.
Okay.
Just a rental itself. So if you want to minus away the cost, then you have to see how much is left after you minus the cost.
Interesting. And then after that, you still have to pay your investors, right?
Yes,
Every month.
correct.
How does that work? They get a share forever, right?
Yes, so we actually design different packages lah. So simplistically speaking, most people chose this package whereby, for example, you give me 10K. So as a result, right, for every 10K you give me, I'll give you, let's say, 4% of everything. So what do I mean by everything is 4% of the cash flow, 4% of the capital gains, right? 4% of the principal. So for basically 4% of the total performance of that unit, right? So cash flow from the rent, this comes to me monthly, but I told them it's actually quite a hassle to, administratively it's quite a hassle to actually calculate 4% and give you every month.
Right.
So we do that every year.
Okay.
We do it every year.
That makes sense.
Right? Then for the capital gain can only be realized when you sell. So when we sell, then we'll calculate what's the 4% to you.
Okay. Are there any cons so far that you've experienced of having so many properties?
Cons.
Yeah, like so far we've spoken about all of the good side, right? Like management, etc. But is there anything that you would be not so comfortable with so far? Now that you've acquired so many.
I will say paperwork.
Oh, right.
There's a lot of paperwork.
And that's what I was thinking as well.
So for industrial, right, because our units are GST registered.
Okay.
So every quarter, I must go and file GST. Then you have to pay the you have to pay the maintenance fee, quarterly maintenance fee, property tax, whatever lah. There's some paperwork there lah.
Right. Yeah.
Extra work.
Right. And you are the one doing the paperwork.
I'm doing it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's tough. How long does it take you to finish, man, for 9 properties? I don't think you have to do paperwork.
The rest doing it. The first 3 industrial is already enough already.
Right.
Then you go and calculate the yearly returns and kind of thing for the cash flow part.
Right.
Wow, that one enough already. Enough to I mean you. Yeah. Enough to take you some time.
Right.
Definitely take some.
Sometime, like how long does it take?
1-2 hour.
Okay.
Yeah, you really got to sit down and do it.
That's very reasonable actually. 1 to is.
Yeah, reasonable lah. You just have to file. You always get a lot of letters. Yeah, you always get a lot of letters from IRAS lah, from other things lah.
Right. Would you consider hiring someone to handle all of that in the future?
Yes, for sure. Because once more properties come on board, expect to receive more letters, right? More paperwork, right? So definitely somebody who can manage will be better.
Okay. Cool. And like some of your colleagues, I'm sure they are also done the same thing as you, right? Who has the most amount of properties in your network?
Wow, I didn't really ask this question. I didn't really ask that. But I know there are people who easily have more than me. So I know like recently co-living is very trendy. Yeah. So what they do is a rent-to-rent model. They don't buy but they rent a property so that they can sublet as rent it out to someone else. Rent-to-rent model. So the rent-to-rent model, I've come across many people who have more than 10. Like 15, 17. I came across one uncle telling me he has 17.
Nice. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, sorry, you're saying?
No, I think he doesn't own them but still 17 is quite a lot to manage.
Okay. I always feel like property is one of the most safest investments, like you said, in Singapore. How would you compare investment in property to, let's say, investment in the stock market?
I would say in Singapore it's very shielded. Very, very shielded. Again, like the reasons I just mentioned, very shielded. And you have many choices. You can buy HDB, you can buy whatever, lot of choices. The biggest difference is like, I think some of them who commented on my TikTok is that I can do this with REIT. Okay, they say I can do this with REIT. Yeah, I have considered REIT before. Easily you get 6% dividend yield. So to be conservative, REIT tend not to give you any capital gain. You buy $1 REIT, next year still probably $1. But yeah, they give you 6% dividend yield. So then they will say that, hey, it looks very similar. Very similar to property with a rental yield of about 5-6% if you're lucky. All right. So the difference here is leverage. Here's the leverage. So when we buy a property, it's very safe for us to take a bank loan. And you can calculate what the interest rate is one of the lower.
Okay.
Do you leverage with stocks? Some people do. Some people don't, because it will accelerate your gains, but it can also accelerate your losses. So that's leveraging in stocks. So because of that, right, when I look at property, my total ROI is not like REITs, right? REITs will give me about 6%. But for property, I can easily hit 10 to 15% because of leverage.
Okay. Got you. How about crypto?
My crypto, I think on case. I didn't experiment much lah, but I will share with you the journey. I started with crypto, I think 2018.
That's really good.
So I bought Bitcoin at about 10K at that.
Nice.
Yeah. Then it went up. Then it went down. So I'm still holding on to them lah, but I've never added more lah. I've not added more. Oh, I tried Dogecoin for fun.
Nice. How was that?
Okay,
Man, were you there during the Elon Musk saga? He was announcing
Correct.
Saturday Night Live, I think.
Yes. So I was there to play lah because of what Elon said, right?
Yeah.
I just try.
Mark Cuban was like, if you were to choose between doing a lottery or buying Dogecoin, you should buy Dogecoin. You have a likelihood of making more money than buying the lottery. During that specific point.
Correct. During a specific point.
Okay.
So yeah, I think mostly the bulk will be Bitcoin, some Dogecoins and some Litecoin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any other investments besides property currently?
Yeah, just stocks.
That's it.
Okay. I'll say that actually investment is a very broad term lah. You can invest in property and stocks. If you do fixed deposits, which I do also, or a bit of them, then there is also investment, but very low return. You can also do insurance, right? Insurance, some of them have an investment component to it. Last but not least, you can always invest in yourself. So like meeting people, doing a podcast or like attending courses. This is an investment in yourself. Then you can grow.
Cool. I want to ask, like, how did your mindset shift when you were a teacher to where you are right now? Some of the core beliefs that you had as a teacher, they got broken, right? I'm assuming. To the beliefs you have today. Could you compare that?
Wow. I don't know where to start because I think there's too many. I think the most important one that I say today, right, is when I was an employee, like most people are employees, right? Nothing wrong. But because your income is capped by what your company gives you, right? The first thing in mind is always how to save more. And so you're always looking at how to reduce your expense. You start comparing, this rice or that rice, this toilet paper or that toilet paper. Right. Just want to find the cheaper stuff.
Cheapest food, restaurant, you look at the price.
Correct. Then you never truly enjoy your life because it's very difficult. So now, coming out as a self-employed and everything, it's not about reducing expenses. It's about increasing your income. And I think for young people, it's super important to increase your income because like we talk about properties just now, you want to take loan. Your loan is really based on your income. The more income you have, the more you can loan. The more income you have, you can save and invest in stocks if stock floats your boat. So fundamentally, why I was so frustrated right at the start is because I'm capped with 5K. That is like that little bit that I can invest every month. I'm going to be very slow compared to other people. Right? Then, I was thinking, how can I achieve financial freedom ASAP? Really, I don't want to let expenses bug me. It's not that I'm going to like buy all the luxury goods, whatever. I just don't want expenses to bug me. If my family, let's go plan a trip to US this winter, can or not? Yeah, I have enough, let's go. That kind of thing. I want to be more carefree this way. Yeah, so that's the first fundamental belief, to increase the income is more important. Secondly is, of course, to start young. Because coming back to loan again, the younger you are...
Are you speaking to me indirectly?
No, I'm speaking to everybody. Everybody. If you have a young person next to you, even if you're old, find a young person next to you because the bank likes to borrow. The bank likes to lend to young people.
Right.
Correct?
Okay.
Yeah. Then I think last but not least is don't be so skeptical, because I was very skeptical. I actually walk up to I quadrant got Jermaine, right? The very pretty lady.
Hi Jermaine.
Yeah. She will know this. She tells people about it. I walked up to her and said, "Hey, are you sure? Why you think she's not a scammer?"
in like the public, in the mastermind itself, or
in a preview, like so she'll after sharing with people the preview of the course to about like 50 odd people in a classroom. Then after the whole thing was closed, we have Q&A, right? Then I walk up to her, "Hey, how was it like? Hey, are you sure you're not a scam or not?" That kind of thing. Yeah, because it was out of my reality blocks,
right?
How can people go and buy multiple properties with very little cash also actually, right? So that one, there was this phrase that you can buy multiple properties with little to zero cash down. I think that one was really a trigger for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then the skepticism just went berserk, like nobody believed.
Yeah.
But truth is, I did it. I really did it. All right. I will release it in more of my upcoming videos. All right. Because a lot of people ask me how I finance it. I really did it with very little money now. All right.
Okay.
So on that note, it's not about, again, not about how much resources you have. It's about how you can find the resources.
Nice. Wow. That's literally the entrepreneurial spirit, honestly speaking. How's your monthly expenses like right now? You mentioned like we should focus on increasing income. But how much do you spend right now monthly?
Quite a lot.
Okay.
Quite a lot. I will say in the region of 15K.
What?
Yeah, 15K.
Really?
Yeah.
On what specifically? Could you break it down?
Okay, so let me think. Okay, so about 3K. 3K goes to car loan. Car loan.
3K for car loan?
Yeah, 3K for car loan. Yeah. So that's 3K, yeah.
What car do you drive?
I drive a iX3, a BM iX3.
Okay. Cool.
Recently we bought. We just want to be environmentally friendly.
Right.
So we bought electric car.
Not a Tesla.
It was down to these two cars.
Right.
I was choosing between these two.
Okay.
Okay. That's 3K. Then of course there's some housing loan that you have to pay. Okay, so that's about 2-3K also. Then there is also monthly expenses. Okay, some of the TikTok videos that you guys watch, right? They are also produced by my team. Okay, so that's another 3-4K. Right. Then there is also sometimes I help people to sell their house. Right. So if I sell their house, I need to put in advertising dollar. Right. So like Property Guru, your 99.co, those kind of stuff. Yeah. Again, you put in dollars. So
you have a real estate license?
Yes,
well?
I do.
Okay.
Then that's about 4-5K.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how much do you make back every month currently?
Currently, well, it depends on a good month or
average it out.
Average, I would say average about 20-30.
Cool. How old are you right now?
I'm 33.
Nice. Wow. Cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, but hey, there are a lot of better performers. To be very frank, there are people who make 1 month 1 million.
Right.
So sky's the limit. Where you see, I mean, never thought of making 1 million in a month, right? But there are people out there who do it.
And that's with purely property. Interesting.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. How do your friends and family feel about you right now?
Should ask them.
They've seen your videos probably, right? Do they come up to you? They're like, hey, I want to buy a property with you. Could you help me?
I think yes, there are some people who ask me that. But most of them, they just say, hey, your videos are very enjoyable. I like watching them. They say, thank you very much. Thanks for the support. Yeah. There are some people who have messaged me on Telegram. Alright, so hey, how can I get started? Just share with them.
How's your inboxes looking like right now? Are they flooded with hundreds of messages?
No, not 100. I think one day, 1 or 2.
Okay. Okay. I would assume that a ton of people will be like messaging you and talking to you about their skepticism, etc.
Oh, I think skeptical people will be more like keyboard warrior lah. They will leave the comment there, right?
On TikTok especially.
They will tell you that it's they'll be the negative comments there lah. And you can see they are in a different state of mind, right? They are in a state of mind where they already believe this is not possible, and they are unwilling to believe that it's possible, right? Then those people who are very intrigued, right, want to know more, then they are the ones that probably will text me and talk about it lah.
Interesting.
I would say that there's this rule, right? I think 80-20, right? So the 80% will not do anything, right? It's only the 20% who will take action and be different.
That's true. That's true. Interesting. If let's say someone who was not very well off financially, for example, maybe he's starting his own business, he's an entrepreneur, would you still recommend that person to look at property?
If he improves his cash flow, why not?
Right.
Because if he's starting out, right, and I think cash flow usually is more important when you first start out. So if you improve your cash flow, why not? Yeah. So for example, I mean, back to it's all tied to your previous questions, right? It's like if he's already struggling financially, okay, don't say struggle, I mean he's a bit tight Then what he or she can do, right, is really to try to invest with little resources. right? And one of the first ways that people would like to invest with little resources is always to stock market, because every $100, $500, you also can get something, right? That's one way. For property wise, you can do what I did, very little money, get investors to help. And what you contribute, right, is very important also, because you contribute in terms of your time in managing the property, you contribute in your expertise in sourcing, right? There are people who are very engaged and caught up with their active income, right, their active work. So they have no time, they just want to park 20K with you. Hey, you help me run the show, right? And if your tenant says that something is wrong, or when you need to draft a tenancy agreement, if you need to find a new tenant, please be in charge. So as a result, you are able to contribute. Yeah, you contribute your value. Yeah. You don't put in the money, but you put in the hard work. You put in the time. That's also
Give your time.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
So time is a resource.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I learned so much. Do you have a belief that a lot of people would disagree with currently?
Like what? I don't know.
You don't have?
I don't know.
An opinion that you have that you feel a lot of people would disagree with you?
No, I cannot think of anything as of now. I'll just say that it's just a matter of which perspective you're looking at only. Yeah.
Now that you're financially free, right? What is the next step for you in life?
Next step for me in life actually is to, of course, everybody's selfish, right? Continue grow my wealth, continue improve my asset, all right? So that everybody around me is well off, okay? My next step in life probably also start a family, okay?
You have a family?
My own children,
kids.
Kids,
How many kids do you want? You have 9 properties, 9 One each.
You all take one. No, I think we start with 2. Conservative.
Conservative.
Start with 2. And then I think next thing is to help people around me. Okay, because it's very transformational. For me to come out not looking at HDB anymore, for me to improve my cash flow and become financially free, I think a lot of employees, okay, a lot of young people, a lot of middle-aged people can do it.
Okay.
Right, to help them. Lastly, I would say that my wife is in the business of environmental conservation. So, she's out there trying to protect the environment. And this cause is very time consuming, but it's also very money consuming. Because if you think about it, every company is now trying to say that they are very environmentally friendly.
Removing straws to save money actually.
Correct. But we all know it's greenwashing. There's a term called greenwashing.
Greenwashing.
Yeah. Basically, they are still looking at bottom line.
It's so annoying though. The no straws, oh my god.
Correct,
I
yeah.
can't.
Exactly. The no straws actually is great while saving to the company. I don't need to buy straw. Right, but I can claim that I'm very environmentally friendly. So
I mean, it is technically, if you think about it.
Yeah.
They increase profits while having that green
Correct.
symbol. Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes to ask them to take away the styrofoam box to convert to a paper box, they'll tell you, hey, paper box is more expensive. So conserving the environment costs money. As of now, it costs money. Why don't SIA start using sustainable fuels, right? Because it's more expensive. So generally, saving the environment needs money. It needs time also. So if we can contribute to this cause, I think it's important. But we need to have some wealth first to contribute to this cause. So that's I think my last aim.
What do you want people to remember you for?
I want people to remember that you just need to try and learn and do things. Yeah. If you are trapped, okay, like for me, I was stuck in my career, I was stuck in my property and everything. That is because you have not fully explored the outside world. You are still in your reality box. Okay, and I say this to a lot of my teacher friends because sad to say is that I'm quite sad to be honest. They are still in their reality box.
Even when they see your videos with 9 properties.
Yeah.
They're like, Mark, you don't lie to me. You're money laundering, right? You're a billionaire, right?
Yeah. They have already ruled themselves out.
Right. Oh my god.
Some of them
sounds sad when you say that way.
Correct. So when I left MOE, some of the colleagues told me, how I wish I was like you. But now they are so-called burdened with their kids, family and everything. They really hold on to a very stable income because you won't get retrenched in government service. It's iron rice bowl.
Iron rice bowl right there.
So they are trapped in this box. And as a result, their worth, their value is what MOE tells them or whatever their employer tells them. And they found it very happy. I mean, yes, they can be doing very fulfilling work. Don't get me wrong, MOE is very fulfilling work. For sure it is. I enjoy my interaction with students.
Teaching students in general should be fulfilling.
It's very,
by right.
It's very fulfilling. But the income not so fulfilling.
Right.
But a lot of them just make do.
Well, you can teach them once they graduate how to invest in properties.
Students
Yeah.
Hey, don't be surprised that a lot of students now are not looking to continue your traditional 9 to 5 jobs,
Yeah, exactly.
They all come out like yourself also. I want to invest. I want to be an investor. I want to, kickstart my journey. I want to be financially free, that FIRE movement, right? A lot of them are like that already. Yeah. And they are thinking of very creative ways to make money. So some of them are very entrepreneurial right at the start. They're already doing TikToks. They are doing YouTube channels. Some of them trading cards even. All ways to make money.
Gig economy.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So very sad for some of my colleagues. I come to a point is that they count themselves out already. So they're just happy to stay where they are.
Wow. That's quite depressing. Yeah, put it like that.
So we are out there to show people it's doable, right? Again, 80-20 rule. 80% will just, never mind, it's okay. I just stay where I am.
Yeah. I mean, you've completely shifted my belief right now on property. One thing I still have, like maybe it's a scarcity mindset, is I feel like it's a bit saturated in Singapore with how small of a country we are. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Okay, the worst case example is Hong Kong. Right? So they are even more land scarce than us. And they are crazy. I mean, their rents are expensive, their properties are expensive. So much so that people are staying in coffin houses. Have you seen? It's like you're literally renting a coffin. Right? And one house, right? A small house can store about like 15 coffins.
Okay.
These coffins are really real people, living people.
Like those pot hotels?
Yeah, pot hotels. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. But everybody's sharing one toilet.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. It's really crazy there.
Yeah.
You just search on YouTube. I just saw one video yesterday. So, that's the worst case when the government doesn't actively manage. Right? They leave it to the private developers to do whatever they want to do. So luckily, Singapore, we have public housing, we have land, we still have some land left. As much as I want to conserve the environment, I feel that it's not right to always chop down forests. But sometimes, I think government can do a better job. I just put it here. Government can do a better job. Don't cut down so much forest and still build more houses.
Right.
But then on the other extreme end, right, will be a country that has too much land. Then you have too much land, or a country that doesn't care about chopping down forests, right? They can always create land to build houses. And that happens to our neighbors, basically. So, property prices are always depressed. Why? Because there's always an oversupply of houses. There's always an oversupply of property. As long as, for example, just put it on the extreme end, if I have corruption very rampant, I just buy over your forest, let's build some houses.
Okay.
And then, I can sell for profit, that kind of thing. But when supply is always increased in supply, you will always have very depressed prices.
Okay.
So you need a good balance. You need to manage the prices well.
Okay. So you would say the government here is managing it really well, therefore it's not really a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Very nice. Very nice. Let's say you have 5 minutes and the whole world is watching you. What would you say?
Wow. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
What's my 5-minute message, right?
To the whole world.
Wow.
Right now, based on what you've experienced so far. I mean, you spoke about reality, being stuck.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I think still back to my main message. Be financially free as soon as you can. How to do it, up to you. You can stay as an employee, you can be self-employed, whatever you want. Main thing is always increase your income. As young as possible, just keep increasing your income. I know there are a lot of people who say follow your passion. Nothing wrong. Follow your passion, nothing wrong. But don't go to the expense of don't go to the expense of doing something you really hate. But do something that you open your mind, open your heart so that you learn and then you can increase your income. Okay. I was really the kind of person who say, oh, I'm happy with what I have. I'm happy with serving, serving the community, giving back to the society. Yes, therefore I went to teach. Okay, but at the end of the day, I realized that no matter which company I join, whether it's MOE or anything else, nobody is going to care about my retirement. Nobody is going to plan for me how much I'm going to retire with. This is my own business, my own problem, right? My own business. So how do I solve this problem, right? I cannot rely on anybody else. I can only try to improve my asset, improve my net worth, try invest, get a head start. If you come from a very wealthy family, good for you. You probably already have a head start. Okay. If you don't have a head start from your family or parents, then you really got to hustle, get it done. All right. Because in the future, right, we will see two very distinct people. Okay. I mean, talk about Singapore context is like 40 years ago, everybody was pretty much poor. Everybody was the same starting line. We all moved up together. Correct. So, everybody had your parents, they all have a 4-room flat, 5-room flat, 3-room flat. Everybody had pretty much the same thing. But the difference now is some people are more educated in investing so that they can make their money multiply. Some people are still very skeptical and they totally shun that aside. They are still believing in the old ways of hard work. Nothing wrong, you can do that. But as a result, people who invest will have a head start and they will keep multiplying, right? So in the next few years to come, I do believe that if this problem is not managed well, we will have a big societal gap. For those who have and continue to grow more because they know how to, and those who don't have and doesn't want to grow, then you will see this gap opening up, right? And I think it's a societal problem with moving ahead. But yeah, be on the right train. Be on the right train to grow, right? And then how do you grow? Really invest in yourself, invest in good assets, stocks, properties, whatever you want to do it, right? And ties back to why you need to have more income so that you can quickly accelerate this process. Last but not least, I think is give back, right? Show gratitude, and like I feel that my journey right now wouldn't have been possible without my partner in crime, which is Sean Chua. He's like a brother to me. He egged me on. I was the one who wanted to attend a course and then just go back home.
He was attending the same course.
Yeah.
You guys both paid separately?
Yeah, we paid separately.
Okay.
He was my colleague in school, right? We sat side by side. And I thought very lonely to attend the course myself. So I asked him, hey, come on, let's join me. All right. So he's a go-getter. Decided to go. So I said, okay, I'll follow and I'll do it. So he has been a mentor and very inspiring guy. Next thing is, we have our teachers like, iQuadrant, Marco and friends and everything, and all Dr. Wealth, all these people who have really encouraged me to invest more, grow their wealth. And finally, if you're not doing it for yourself, then you do it for others, right? You do it for your family because they look up to you. They need you to support them. Or you look up to you look up to the whole world, where you can have a value to contribute.
Wow, very nice. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Wow, I learned a lot.